Alright then, hello my little kiddies! Welcome back to the Aging Demons RPG. I'm your host Seamus McGinty, and I'm going to educate you a little bit on overuse of accents. That's right, boys and girls. Oh yes. Okay, that's enough. Hi everybody, Jared back with Aging Demons RPG, and yes, this is going to be a video about accents. Now, what I was doing there, if I didn't brutalize it too much, was probably the biggest caricature of Scottish accents in, media and otherwise. It just, I don't know. In a game, decide for yourself when you're doing an NPC voice or even your player character's voice. One, am I going to be able to keep this up for the entire time I'm interacting with the player characters? And of course, two, is this person, if your character's a pretty serious guy, I probably would stay away from a sort of a caricature accent. I mean, just, do what you know, right? I mean, I've got friends internationally. I grew up in Germany. I spent a lot of time in England. My mother is English, from Nottingham. For you bloody Yanks, Nottingham. Yes, that's where Robin Hood was. Yes, remember the sheriff? Yes, he's from there. Again, a caricature of English accents. I mean, honestly, if I were to recommend you study anybody for a British accent that you could imitate. Maybe not go for the royal family, because they're the proper English is very, very subtle and not very exciting, and it's not spoken by the common man, so you're more than likely not going to have a very exciting character. If that's the character you're playing, go for it, but probably avoid that. Don't go directly to Cockney. Oh yeah? Yeah, don't go right into that. You're not a bloody pikey, which Canadian comparison would be my father's side of the family, which would be Newfies, a bunch of Newfoundlanders. Newfoundland, yes boys. You just, I don't know, just play what you know. And the best example I think I could give for a common man's English accent that's well articulated, that you as a non-British resident can emulate, would be Sean Connors from The Outsiders 68, or Clack Click Bang. Believe he's never said it to me or in any of his videos. I think Samwise7 said his name was Andrew. So Andrew over at Clack Click Bang. I love his accent. I wish that's such a. He probably doesn't think of it this way because he's lived with it his entire life. But if he lived on this side of the pond, he totally, that's a chick getting English accent right there. Hello and welcome to the Gentleman's Guide to Gaming. I mean, the guy that's class right there. And you know what? If you're going to be playing or having an NPC that's a British person that's got a very serious tone to them, what can be comical, but perhaps you wouldn't even notice the joke has been said. Which is perfect British dry wit. That's the accent I would try and emulate. Also, the dwarven Scottish accent thing has got to stop. It's like that's why I really loved this past Dragon Age 2. I know, boo, some of you are just, against the game. But that stuff aside, the narrator, Varric, is a dwarf. He doesn't have a beard, and he's never lived underground. He hasn't become human, though. He's definitely still dwarven. But he's not going around saying, oh, I'm a dwarf, and I have an axe, and I've apparently been growing up my entire life near Glasgow and in the Highlands and other Scottish words like bagpipe and haggis. No, he's a dwarf. make them sound how you think a dwarf is gonna sound. Don't jump to like the Warcraft 2 stereotype. Just, I mean, dwarves in their mythology are bloody Scandinavian. I don't hear anybody going, "Hello, my name is Oli. I'm the dwarf in the party for sure. You betcha." No, like, and of course, once again, caricature of a voice. So don't think that's how Swedes talk. My Swedish metal friends would really kind of just put me over the coals if that's if they started passing that stereotype around. But play your character how you feel is best, and accents are exactly that. They're accents. They're to accentuate your character. If you want to play a character that sounds different than you, which really helps with the immersiveness, it separates you from him or her, just really rounds them out. I mean, sometimes it can really help develop a character. Like, I was just kind of staring at my screen the other day, and I was looking at BG Trocchia, just his handle, and I was thinking that would be like the perfect, for some reason, I thought that'd be like the perfect name for some secret paranormal USSR Iron Curtain type operation, and it'd be BG would stand for Battlegeist, and Trocchia. Battlegeist Trocchia is a secret project that was started by Central Command. Like, it just, that's all I could hear in my head was this briefing about this crazy secret program, like a la Hellboy, that sort of thing. Very pulp, but still dark. I don't know. Accents make things different. I mean, but as I said, do what you know, because, I mean, if your entire base knowledge of the British accent is from what you get from Doctor Who, the only thing you should be, by obligation, be able to say at the gaming table without getting smacked upside the head is, "Oh, look, bow ties are cool." That's my sonic screwdriver, ladies and gentlemen. For those not familiar with Doctor Who and think I just pulled out a pleasure device for the ladies. Yeah, like, that's about it. Bow ties are cool. I also, like, every single Japanese man does not have to sound like he's attempting to lift his house. It's just, "Hello, you have dishonored my family, and I will cut your throat, you son of a bitch." Like, no. One thing, most Japanese don't sound like that. Japanese itself, spoken in that cadence, can be a very fierce and ferocious language. And from a warrior culture, especially during the feudal times, yeah, I mean, everybody does want to emulate that. If you're playing a samurai, you want to be like, "I am bringing honor to my family." But you're not like, "Hello, you're not you're not Lord, was it Nobunaga? The one from the actual show, Shogun. I know Nobunaga was an actual guy, but I don't remember if that's the, was it Tokugawa? Anyway, I'm bad with those names and those shows from back in the 70s and 80s. But yeah, just come on. And not every Chinese guy sound like this. Just, I mean, you're starting to get, I hate to say it, I hate to go ahead and pull this out, but when you're doing stuff like that, you're kind of turning the table into a clan meeting, and we're getting a little racist. And we want the hobby to be very welcoming to everyone, male, female, black, white, beholder purple. You just, I don't know, gauge it well, guys. I'm all for having fun. If you've got if you have a Mr. Scott in your group, feel free to be like, "Oh yes, I'm doing as best as I can, Captain." Or if you're doing an impression of like that, if you're a straight up like Americanized character, and you're the tech guy in the group, and you're hacking into some system, and the rest of the fighters and are on a different area, and they radio you and ask you how you're doing. I mean, you can make a smart little quip and like, "I'm doing as best as I can, Captain. I just didn't have the power. That's fine. I'm not saying you're immediately racist, but gauge it well, guys, because as well we got young folks coming in our games. At least I had, and these are the impressions they're getting on how proper adult behavior is. Now, it's cool that they find out that adults can still have fun, and this game is not something that dies off when you're 16 and you're too cool. But it just set a right example. Come on, or at least be like, okay, guys, this is a total stereotype, and it's the kind of person he is. So be with me, especially when you're going outside your race. I went to school with a bunch of people from North Carolina, a bunch of black kids from North Carolina, and they educated me some good, as they told me. And you know what? I from time to time I get the Southern accent, and I try not to be too hillbilly about it, because this is not a Jeff Foxworthy skit. Every once in a while, it's okay, but you might be a redneck if you constantly talk like this while trying to be a game master. That's game master, not game master. That's Russell Simmons right there. No, Southern accents can be good for NPCs too. I've done many of them, especially in riffs. You go into the southern states, there is still going to be some of that dialect that survived the cataclysm. And, they haven't been like, no, they have not been like that. Some have. I've got some deep swamp runners that are like that. But they do it a lot more just to almost mock the fact that the rest of them are so cushy and they couldn't survive in the swamp anyway. So they mostly they self-deprecate to accentuate the fact that, well, they actually are more intelligent than the player characters. But if you talk with just a very, very polite Southern accent, and you don't make it too forced, and you just kind of try and keep it in the same tone and intonation when you're speaking to your player characters, it's not going to offend anybody, and you're probably going to go ahead and get a reaction. Although you probably will get some imitation from your characters, or your players, because they really want to get in on it, because they're a little bit jealous because they're not stepping outside of their box enough, and you are. As a game master, you're sitting there at the end of the table going, you know what, man, I am just gonna go balls to the wall on this. I am gonna go completely ape shit. As a game master, I'm gonna step outside my brain. I'm gonna go all schizophrenic, go over here, go over there, and your players are gonna appreciate it. One of my favorite accents to do when I was a player that I did the longest was a very subtle Cajun accent, because I was playing a criminal, kind of like Gambit from the X-Men. I really liked the 90s accent he had, the accent they put on his character in the 90s, but not so forced. I still had the French inflection to my voice, but I did not go around saying that everything was about gumbo and hitting the and going ahead and getting the alligator. No, I kept it real subtle. I kept it slick because I was playing a Gambit type character. Go with the ladies, slick, card sharp, which is kind of a little bit what R.D. Spielman was about. My Riffs character I just did the character builds on, but in a different way. Almost the same kind of character, but a different way. And an accent helped me diverge the two characters. So that's it. Be responsible with your accents, and don't forget, spay or neuter your cats and dogs. Anyway, keep the dice rolling, and we will see y'all next